Today on Singles Court, Nick's getting cold feet about his trip to the altar.
And I've got a lot of stresses in my life right now.
And now he's got a lot of splaining to do.
He's growing further and further away from me, and things that didn't bother him before are bothering him now.
Are they on the verge of a nervous breakup?
You're terrified. Look at you.
And Carlos has a beef.
Who's the flavor of the week?
It's all about my best friend's bedding. Everyone.
You don't even remember their names.
I remember their names. I think you're just jealous.
Why are you doing it? Jealous of what?
But is that the only thing keeping him up at night?
Why do you want me to stay?
Exactly.
I will move. Why do you want me to stay?
Hi, I'm Michael Day. Welcome to Singles Court, the #1 show on the Singles Broadcast Network and the place where singles come to find help with their relationship problems. And here's the lady who dishes it out, nationally syndicated relationship expert Angela Segal.
That's me, that's me.
That is you. You are the lady in charge. The lady who's written a couple of books, which I just found out. I've known you all this time and didn't know you were an author.
And didn't know it. See, you just don't know. I'm always writing, always thinking, trying to get as much material as possible.
As soon as I learn how to read, I will get on those. Okay, but in the studio today, we have people, real live people, and they need your help. Say hello to Lata and Nick. They're both social workers, and about 18 months ago got social with each other. They started dating, and shortly after, Nick proposed marriage. Lata accepted, and everything was going along charmingly, until Lata started to feel that Nick was getting, maybe a bit of second thoughts or whatever. But anyhow, I'll let them plead their case, but I call it the case of uncool to be cold.
Wow, Lata, you don't look very happy. What's going on?
Angela, Nick and I started seeing each other about 18 months ago. We met on a volunteer project called Street Action Patrol. And I fell in love with him almost immediately. His example was inspiring. I thought I finally met somebody who I could relate to, who believed in the things that I did. And he proposed after only a few months, and I accepted. And lately...
So you all met, had this kind of whirlwind thing going on, because you have the same goals and kind of desires, and you're doing the volunteer thing.
Yeah.
But 3 months and you were engaged already?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Just thought I'd ask. Go ahead.
Lately, he's just been really cold, really distant, and I feel like something's going on he's not being honest about.
Well, what do you say?
Well, it's been 18
Nick?
months. Things are going to change, right? It's like, it's not
Well,
going
not
to be the
usually.
same way.
I mean, they changed over 18 months, but you mean they changed from how they are right now?
Well,
What
no,
was
it's
that
like
question?
over 18 months. I mean, things are going to change from when we first dated. Of course it's going to be different. And I've got a
Angela.
lot of stresses in my life right now, so
Well,
things
Nick, you
aren't going to
have
be
no
the
more
same.
stresses than I do.
What are you talking about? I'm doing the work of like 3 people at the job I'm working at right now.
what are
She
you-
has no idea what I do there.
Well, Nick, what are you doing that she feels is different? What is she calling distant? Give me an example.
Angela, he would rather watch TV and be with his friends than he would
I need
with
some
me.
time out every now and again. And, you get married, things change. I got to see my friends before I go through this. This is a major commitment
So
here,
do you
right?
think, like, when you get married, you're not going to see your friends anymore after you get married?
Well, things are going to change. I don't know. We've been talking about moving out of the city, and things are going to be a little bit different, right?
So you're like trying to get your last whirlwind in? Is that what you're saying?
Angela,
No, that's not what I'm saying.
what
I
are
just
you
want to
saying?
see people. I just want to see the guys. It's like.
Angela, a couple of weeks ago, he said that he was going to take me out for dinner to make everything up to me because he knew that I'd been feeling
Which
this way for
I
some
did.
time. He showed up over an hour late, and when I
I
called
was
him on
working
it...
late. I told you that.
Was that uncommon behavior? Is he usually punctual?
Very. Oh, very. He would have never done that before. When I called him on it, he said that he was on the phone with his mother, begging for her blessing to accept our marriage.
Is that true?
Yeah.
So it took an hour. So you were on the phone for a whole hour?
Well, listen, my parents are really wealthy, okay?
Very wealthy.
They're very wealthy, okay?
They don't accept me.
They don't accept her. Okay, they're snobs. They're way up here. Lata comes from a very different family. They came from Venezuela years ago. I mean, they have a very different income level than what my parents are into. And it's like, I have always, all my life, rebelled against my parents. And
this is another example of rebellion?
Lata and I have a lot in common. We work together. We work side by side in Street Action Patrol. I mean, we really work together. We share the same ideals. I mean, my politics are nowhere
Nick,
near my parents. They're conservative all the way.
Nick, these were the things that I fell in love with you for. But lately,
what are the things that you fell in love with him for?
These
Rebellion?
very things. The fact that he stood up for what he believed in, no matter what his parents were. His parents are concerned about who's having a better lawn party next door to them.
Okay, but he asked you to marry him. So you're the one that he is, even if he's rebelling, don't you think doesn't he get credit for that at all?
But Angela, the Nick that I know would not have cared whether his mother accepted me in this marriage or not.
They're still my parents. They're still my parents. I still love them. Okay, I rebelled against them all my life. They have nothing to talk about except money, but they are still my parents.
I mean, you can understand what he's saying. I mean, would you turn your back on your parents?
But what am I supposed to do? They don't accept me.
You can't do anything about that, except for love the man you love. I think the question to you, Nick, is how are you going to handle the fact that your parents don't accept her?
It's very important to me that we work something out. I'm not going to disown my parents from marriage.
No, you can't.
It's like,
I always thought that we had our plans and priorities all worked out. And now he's growing further and further away from me, and things that didn't bother him before are bothering him now. And I think something's going on.
Marriage is a lifelong commitment. It's like there are things to do. Like, for example, a month
Nick,
ago,
something is going on that you're not telling me.
A month ago, she drops on me that she wants to have kids like right away after getting married. We never talked about that before.
You know, but think about why it's so stressful to you. 3 months and you're engaged. So that's why you didn't talk about it. You have time. You know, between having coffee, going out to clubs.
When did they find time to put together an action plan on your life?
It just does. I mean, you didn't have any time.
You're terrified to marry me, aren't you? You're terrified. Look at you.
It's a major commitment. There's a lot going on. I got to work out a lot of things. I got a lot of issues here. I have responsibilities to my family as well.
Nick.
You've known that all along.
What's the real issue here? I mean, let's get real. You know, let's get real. What is the real issue? Do you really want to marry her or not?
Oh, God.
I don't.
You know what? Maybe if you would have stopped talking so much, maybe you really would have found out the answer. Do you want to marry her or not?
Well, I really wanted to get it right. Lata seemed like the perfect girl. I mean, it's like, you know, she was like so different than anybody else I had ever met. She came from like a completely other side of town, a completely different background. Her family was like so welcoming.
You wanted, right? In the past tense, you wanted to marry. You don't want to marry her. Tell her.
Lata, I'm sorry.
Lata, do you see what this means, though? You know, I mean, obviously you don't feel very good about what he's saying, but do you see what's happening here? I mean, tell me what you're thinking right now.
I'm disgusted.
Why? What are you disgusted in?
Because I guess I've always known that he didn't love me, and that I wanted to believe that he did. And for a while, I did believe that he loved me.
Well, now you know. I'll be back with my resolution. You know, we usually know in our hearts what's usually revealed to our ears. And you said it several times that you knew that he didn't really love you. And we all have that little voice inside of us, but we can only hear it if we listen. And a lot of times we want things to be one way and we're really not listening to what's going on. And I think that's what's happened here with you, Lata. Nick, you on the other hand, your rebellion was against your parents. And the whole thing was really a plot to continue to rebel. But it's time to grow up. You're not a baby. You know, throw away the Pampers and realize that you cannot continue to rebel. You're a grown man. You make your own decisions. And when the rubber hits the road, it's ultimately you that's going to have to be responsible for the decisions that you make. You hurt Lata, and you did not have a right to do that and to use her. That's basically what you did. You used her to hurt your parents. You know, in relationships, when people are used as pawns, all the players lose. Nobody wins in that situation. Lata, you're a great person. You're in a profession that requires you to take care of others. What I'm telling you here today is that you need to take care of you. There's nothing wrong with looking out for you, your feelings, your joys, and your own pains. There's nothing wrong with that. That's a good thing. It doesn't take away from what you do for a living. It doesn't take away from the vow that you've made to take care of others. But I tell you, you must take care of self first. Nick, you need to grow up. You need to realize that you can't continue to hurt other people. Lata may not be the one for you, and I understand that. I mean, everybody gets themselves in situations where they realize they may not love the person. But now you have a responsibility. If you're going to fly, then get your butt out of the nest and fly. Don't clip the wings and blame other people. It's your chance, it's your opportunity, because you don't have a right to continue to plop bird poop on people because you're unwilling to fly. And that's the final word.
Next on Singles Court. Carlos has a beef.
Who's the flavor of the week?
It's all about my best friend's bedding. Everyone.
You don't even remember their names.
I remember their names. I think you're just jealous.
But is that the only thing keeping him up at night?
Why do you want me to stay?
Exactly.
I will move. Why do you want me to stay?
And Singles Court is back with nationally syndicated relationship expert Angela Segal.
You know, the suspense just always gets me. I never know what's going to happen.
Well, and get ready for this one, because this is a very suspenseful little case we have here. Say hello to Carlos and Rick. They're in the studio today because they have a problem. Now, Carlos is an accountant and Rick manages a supermarket. The two of them have been roommates for 6 months now. They've been friends for longer, and there's becoming a bit of a house rift between the two of them because of they both were once partiers, and now Carlos is trying to put the party hat down, but Rick is saying, bring it on, bring it on. And I'll let them tell you more about it, but I call it the case of with gay abandon.
So, Rick, it sounds like you want to party still, and you have a little issue about that. What's going on?
Absolutely. I don't have an issue with it. I like to party. That's my life right now. And we're here, well, we consent mutually to come here, but I think Carlos should go first.
Okay, well, Carlos, let it out.
Well, what happens is that, as it says, for the last 6 months he's been living at my home, which I really enjoy.
But the two of you are just friends, right?
Yes, we have
known each other for over 15 years.
Yes.
We're best friends.
For a long time.
That's all. We truly care about each other. And that's what brings me really here, because I care about him and his image. And lately his image has been, well, rather shady, to say the least.
No.
Oh, well, describe to me image. What do you mean? I mean, he's a supermarket manager. So what kind of image do you
Well,
think
yes,
should have?
this would be okay if he would be taking care of the store, but not as much as cruising the aisles looking for younger boys.
No.
Okay, in their 20s, fine.
Work is work, and this is my private time. I ended a long-term relationship just a little while ago, and it was rather
now,
messy.
ask him why it ended. Ask him why it ended.
We don't need to go there.
Why did it end?
It ended for a lot of reasons. Let's just say
What were their names? Bill, Tom, and Jane? Oh, I know.
Very gay.
No.
I see you catching on, because this is it. It's who's the flavor of the week.
When we were together in my relationship, it was a monogamous relationship. It ended for a variety of reasons, which we have discussed. And
well, admit it, basically the same. You party hardy all the time. Okay, you look 25, but it doesn't mean you have to act it.
Well, no,
I mean,
I'm enjoying myself. You're an accountant. You come home, you sit all day in the office in your little cubicle.
I have a question. Remember me? Carlos, if you're just roommates, what do you care if he looks like a fool? I mean, what does that tell me? The imposition that's on you.
We are friends for 15 years, and if you are in a friendship for that long, you obviously care about the person, and you care about what other people think about them. And let me tell you, I've heard stories from the neighbors. Sometimes I don't even see these people leave the next day because I get up early in the morning. When I come home,
I have never missed a day of work. I'm responsible at work. My job gets done. I bring in my income. I've never had a problem with any of the people at work. It's now that I'm single, I have no obligations in my life. I
You're
have
just trying
no
to live
children.
it all up.
I'm out. I'm enjoying myself.
I
I'm
am
going to parties.
concerned
I'm going
about
to
your
clubs.
income of the young fleet of boys that you have. And I can't even give the
No,
neighbors
I
any
think-
names pretending I know these people because I'm sure you don't even remember their names.
I remember their names. I think you're just jealous.
Why are you doing it? Jealous of
Why
what?
do you think he's jealous?
Because
Of what?
you come home at night.
It's not like you're doing something
No, you
we
come
haven't
home at
done in
night.
the
We have
past.
supper. I say, Carlos, let's go do something. Let's go out. Let's go out and have a coffee and watch the world go by on the sidewalk. And you say, no, I think I'd rather just rent a video and stay home tonight.
Maybe.
He's an
just-
old poop now. He's getting old. We're 40. We're not dead. We should be allowed to go out and party.
What do you mean
and have
I'm
fun.
getting old? We're the
can't
same
you-
age.
Well,
Can't you
yes,
just-
I know we're the
but
same
can't
age,
you
but you
underst-
act like you're 60.
No, I'm not. I'm acting like a responsible 40-year-old person.
Maybe
Okay, but
he's
you-
just heard enough ABBA and wants to turn the volume down a little.
Thank you very much. I think that is the truth. I
Okay,
mean, that,
now the-
that
But
is
can't you
exactly
agree to
it.
disagree that you have different lifestyles?
Well, I mean,
can you see that he
excuse me.
wants to do something different than you that doesn't make him worse than you?
Well, he says
It's
that
different.
I'm getting old. Then I'm
And
asking,
you're
why
getting
does the volume
boring.
have to be so loud?
Oh, no,
if
it's
I'm
not-
the
it's
old
not a
ones,
question
you seem
about
to be hard
volume.
of
No,
hearing.
it's-
Or is it not just pretending
It's
to be
not hard
young
of-
and Mr. Disco? Oh, give me a break.
No, you don't
mean, you
want to
just-
do anything. You're boring. You're staid. You used to lead an exciting lifestyle. We used to go out when we were younger. We would go out and party
but that's
all the
key-
time
key
together.
the key phrase there is when we were younger. You understand? He's saying
Exactly.
you need to chill a little bit, just for the sake of your reputation. And
No, I think it goes beyond wanting to chill.
No,
And
I
actually,
think, you know what I think
do you
it
want me
is?
to move out?
No, I don't want you to move out.
because I
want
think
you
that
to
would
be
solve
that
the
is the
relationship.
solution. Well,
I
he's
want
right.
you to be honest because you're saying I just want to go out
But
and
Carlos-
you know and look
Carlos,
around and enjoy the
Carlos,
world. Yes.
If you don't like what he does, you don't agree with his lifestyle, why would you not just want him to move out? That's what I would
To
say.
save
move.
the relationship, I will move out.
Because I'm concerned about him. Number one, it
You can
isn't
be
safe
concerned
to
with
bring
them.
home different
You want
people
control
all the
like my
time.
parents had. No.
But
It's
There's-
not about control.
Why
What's it
do you want me
about?
to stay?
What is it about? Because he can move
Because
out
he's
and then.
making a fool of himself, and I do care about him.
Okay, so you can care about him in another household, then you won't know what he's doing.
Well, it would even be worse, wouldn't it?
No, it wouldn't, because you wouldn't be seeing it. So help me understand why you think it's necessary to hammer him about his lifestyle, but yet you won't let him move out of the house. And you're just friends.
It's not that I don't let him move out of the house. He can
Well, what is it
move
then?
if he wants to, but this is not
Why
why
do you
we're
want me to
here.
stay?
We're not here because it's a matter
Why
of,
do you want me to
of
stay?
space. It is a
Why
matter
do you
of-
want me to stay?
Exactly.
I will
My
move.
same
Why do you
question.
want me to stay?
Why do you want him to stay? I don't think I need to say it again, but obviously you're not answering it.
Well, because I think he should settle down. He should settle down with someone
Whose name is Carlos? I'm just taking a guess here. Is this what you want?
well,
Yes.
I don't.
I need to hear it.
Well, maybe.
What are the words?
Maybe.
You're liking this, aren't you? You're enjoying it.
Maybe maybe the jealousy. Why don't you go out with me anymore?
I want to.
So
You
what?
see,
Why don't you want to go out with me?
That's
Why
what I
was this-
always really wanted.
Why
actually.
was this so? Well, why
Do
was
you
this
want
so
to go
hard?
out with me? What are you saying exactly?
They don't need me.
Do
I
you
don't-
two need to be alone?
I
Because
suppose I do care about more than just a friendship.
Thank you. This is what I have been waiting for.
So you acted like a fool in order to hear that?
Exactly.
I'll be back with my resolution. Party on. Admitting our true feelings usually follows a confrontation. This is no different. Carlos, you were forced here to admit feelings that you've had for probably quite some time now. And it's amazing because they were revealed with just open, honest communication. You really didn't even need me. I think that what happens is that most people forget to communicate, and you all were able to do that here today. So that's a good thing. Rick, you on the other hand, I think you want to be young, and that's great. I mean, we all do. But that doesn't give you a license to be immature. That little antic was immature. You know, it was like so high school. I'm going to run around with a bunch of men so that you'll get jealous, and then I'll win. So, I mean, I would caution you on the immature things. I think you can do better than that. You know, in relationships, when feelings are kept secret, what happens is that we lose valuable time. And that's what happened here. We don't know how much time you all lost when you could have, in fact, just told the truth up front and perhaps been able to have even more years together. So now we know truth is out in the open. And the best thing about it is that you all have what a lot of people never get to, which is a friendship that has endured 15 years. That's great. So it's a wonderful basis for a good relationship. All the other things come into play later on, but without that core, it's really hard to keep a relationship going. So you're already ahead of the game because you already have that. I would tell you that as you move on through life, just understand that you do have different personalities and there is going to have to be some compromise. I think that you can probably come down a little bit in age and you can kind of come up a little bit in age. And hopefully the two of you can meet somewhere around 40. And that's that, the final word.
Well, there it is. Words of wisdom from the lady who tells it like it is, Angela Segal. Join us next time here at Singles Court, the final word for singles.